Hello traders, it is Tuesday evening, May 21st, and I'm going to be doing this week's video a day early. We are in pre-holiday trading mode and the volume is going to drop off dramatically throughout the course of the week, so I wanted to get the video out a little bit earlier so that we might be able to take advantage of these opportunities before the volume completely dries up. I'm going to be showing you Option Stalker. It includes real-time data, and everything that you're going to see tonight you are able to purchase with the Option Stalker subscription. Please click this video to learn more about it. The cost is $399 per quarter, and without further ado, let's get going. If you like tonight's video, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube. Now, I published this for members and they'll be able to watch it tonight and take advantage of the trades that I highlight. For those of you who are watching it on YouTube, you'll be seeing it a week later. That's when I release it. But the advantage that you have is you'll be able to go back and take a look at how the highlighted trades performed. So you'll be able to put together a track record week to week. And if you do that, I think you're going to be very impressed. We have a systematic approach to trading and it works. I'm also going to be showing you how easy it is to use Option Stalker to find swing trades. This should not take you more than 5 or 10 minutes per night. So let's start. I like to start each week with the S&P 500. Market first, market first, market first. I'm going to put up some moving averages. I'm going to click SMA 200. SMA 100, toggle on, toggle off, very easy. Here we can see that the market is right above the major moving averages and they're converging right around this 277 level. I believe that over the course of the next 2 or 3 weeks, the market is going to test these major moving averages. The rhetoric with China has soured. I believe that we're going to see some relatively soft economic numbers globally, and that sellers are going to test this support level. But for right now, you can see that the market moved down. We have this downward sloping trend line, and in the last few days it's been able to bounce off of that support level and hover in this same area. That's kind of what I'm projecting for the next 3 days this week. Pre-holiday conditions, news vacuum, there really isn't anything going on to drive the market. So we should be in a fairly neutral stance. Because of this huge rally that we've been in, I am going to focus on bullish picks. However, I will also have a bearish pick. And the support level that we're going to be watching is 285. I'm going to drop an alert line right at that support level here. You can see it bisects the action the last few days. That's the prior breakout. Now it's support. Found support there, found support there. Then once we broke below it, you can see how it was a resistance level. So this is a key level. If we are above SPY 285, you should consider the bullish picks. If we are below SPY 285, you should consider the bearish picks. And you can see that this week we've been above and below. So we had kind of a mixed bag. Let's take a look at how our picks did. I'm going to go down and I'm going to select May 15th, which is when we did the last recording. So let's see how they did in a what I would call a choppy, neutral market. We find relative strength and relative weakness. That is our edge. And trust me, it is a huge edge. So we had Amazon was one of our bullish picks, and this was the price action last Thursday, and you can see how the stock finished near its high. The next day it had a really big run up, so this was actually pretty nice. You can see how it had been trading higher, and then recently it's pulled back a little bit. So yes, there were opportunities on the upside to make quick profits, and that's really what this market is all about. I'm going to point out that one of the stocks that I had an alert on just popped up. So when you set alerts like I'm going to do tonight, If you click on this alert, it will bring you to the chart. And here you can see that it broke out to a new high. Well, I'm going to reset that alert, GTC, set the alert, and I'm going to put it as high as I can because I'm not crazy about these inverted hammers that show some resistance. Still want to have the alert out there, but this is a good opportunity for me to show you how the pop-up alerts work. If you're diligent about setting these alert lines, again, for a good till cancel alert, you click GTC and then place the alert line above a price point if you're looking for a bullish move, or below a particular price point if you're looking for a bearish move. So let's say that I think Amazon is a short, or this is actually Kim. Let's say that I think that's a short. Well, then I would want to drop that right below horizontal support, which happens to be right around that moving average. And then one day I'll log into my computer and I'll have a pop-up saying, remember me? You were interested at this particular price point and that price point has been met. So whenever you see a good looking chart, you should always be dropping those alert lines, whether the price is there or not, because when it gets there, you're going to know about it. So let's just go back to Amazon very quickly. There was an opportunity to make some money on the upside, but you had to be in and out. And that's how this market is going to be trading for the next week. So when you get in some of these positions and the market is trading higher, take profits a day or two later, lock them in. We're going to be chopping around. I don't like holding a lot of overnight positions when the market is directionless. ENPH, gorgeous, gorgeous stock. Loved it and still love it. Look at this nice upward sloping trend line here. You can see how the stock is channeling higher in a neutral market. That's a very bullish sign. Sold off a little bit yesterday, and you can see, boom, how it popped right back up, and we've got that bullish hammer. So I like this stock. This is where it was a week ago, and you can see how the stock has moved higher. So that was a good trade. GD was a bearish trade that we were looking at. That was our horizontal support line that we had to be below, and we had to have the SPY below 285. Neither of those conditions were met. No trade. HRS was a bullish pick. Look at this beauty. Gorgeous, gorgeous uptrend. That's where the video was recorded. You can see how it's trading higher. Had a really nice day today. Stock, I believe, was up $4.50 today. Very nice. Visa was another long that I highlighted last week. I like this downward trend line that had been breached, and you can see how the stock has been moving higher, and it's getting ready to challenge this all-time high. Visa, another winner. Xilinx was one of our bearish picks. Oh yeah, that was a big drop from $111 down to $99, and it absolutely tanked right down to that 200-day moving average, and you can see how it bounced off of that level. This is where you should take profits. When you see something like this bouncing off of major moving average, closing near its high of the day, take your profits. That was a huge winner. So yes, we did have the SPY below 285, and yes, this was an excellent pick. This was where the video was recorded, and this is what happened afterwards. So an 11-point winner. Amazon, you had some chances to make money on the long side. ENPH made money on the long side for sure. General Dynamics never hit our targets on SPY and the stock itself at the same time, so no trade. HRS, beautiful trade, $4.50 higher today. Visa moving higher. Xilinx tanked. That's a good week. Let's see if we can repeat that this week. So I'm going to bring up the custom search. We're going to keep this simple today. We've got a fairly neutral market. Let's mark some really basic searches here and see what we come up with. So I like to have my option liquidity rating better than 3. That's fairly liquid, so those options will trade pretty well. I'd like to have the stock on a buy signal. on a daily basis. That's why I mark D1. We're swing trading, so we need a longer term time horizon. I would like to see strength versus the SPY. Let's see what we've got. Oof, lots of stocks. Well, I don't want to knock through all this, so let's see if we can narrow that search a little bit more. How about a stock that was above the prior day's high? Now, the market was up about 20 S&P points today, so I want to see a stock that was able to exceed the prior day's high. That would tell me that it did well on a good bullish day. Still, lots of stocks to knock through. So let's add a couple of other criteria. I'd like to have a stock that's continuing to move higher. So let's add greater than the 100-day moving average, greater than the 200-day moving average. Aha, here we go. Now we can get through this list pretty quickly. I'm only looking for one bullish pick this week. Again, the market is pretty neutral, so I need to find the best candidate. Here we go, right out of the gate. Beautiful. Got this compression, stock moves higher, new all-time high today. Yeah, I like AXP. That might be our pick of the week. Just like that. I don't need to look any further, but I'm going to. Let's see what else we've got. BP. Okay, so we got a downward sloping short-term trend line here that was broken to the upside above the major moving averages. That's good. You can see the stock is pretty choppy. It's a commodity stock, British Petroleum. I like it, but it's not going to be one of my favorites. BK, Blackstone Group, financial sector. Gosh, is that a nice breakout today. That is gorgeous. I'm going to put BK down. It's hard to deny a stock like that. I'm going to also add 1OSI. So this is a way that we measure relative strength. And look at how strong the stock has been relative to the market. Gorgeous compression, gorgeous breakout. Stock moves higher after earnings, consolidates that earnings move. Buyers start to come in, never even goes back and fills in that gap. Boom, 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 boom. Lots of sequential green bullish bars. Breakout through horizontal resistance. Off we go. Love it. Really good pick. Cisco. Very, very strong uptrend. Has a pullback here. Earnings after the close. Nice move. Still has to get through resistance. Not going to make the cut today, but I like it. Here's another oil stock, Chevron. Not going to touch that, although I'm going to drop an alert here because if it starts to fill this gap, I want to know about it. So that's not a bad looking stock right there. I like it better if it starts to get in that gap. DIA is the Dow Jones. We're not going to look at that. Not enough momentum here. Compression, 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 chopping back and forth, no pace. GPro's been on our list earlier. I like this horizontal breakout here. You can see how it's starting to get more volatile. So there's some news in it. I suspect that maybe their products are starting to gain some traction because this is a nice breakout right here. You can see how the stock came back and tested that horizontal support level. There's the high. Look where the stock came back to. Right at that same level, and then it found buyers. Not my favorite, but also not a bad pick. We're going to keep moving because we've already got a couple that I like better. Hess, energy stock. As far as energy goes, it never pulled back with the sector, so I like it relative to the sector. If I were going to play oil, this would definitely be a stock I would look at before I would look at British Petroleum or Chevron. I would look at Hess. Like this nice, solid uptrend. HYG, not going to look at that. Bond fund. Here we've got a gap down on IBM. We have support holding at that 100-day moving average. We've got the 100-day and the 200-day converging, which actually we saw that on the S&P 500. So IBM tracks the market pretty closely. It's in the gap. Okay, nice. I'm not crazy about it, so we'll take a pass on IBM. We have better already. We saw Visa. Here's MasterCard. Actually, we looked at American Express this week. Visa was a pick from last week, and we liked it, and it did well. And look at this, challenging that all-time high. Very, very nice. Sequential bullish bars. I like it. MA makes the list too. We may have to decide if we like MasterCard better or AXP. Met's been on our list before. It was along from 2 weeks ago. Look at how well it's held up relative to the market. Exploded higher and pulled back today. Lots of tails above, which still indicates resistance. Tails above the body, resistance. But it's trying. It's trying to work its way higher, and sooner or later it's going to wear out these buyers and it'll go. But right now, we're going to take a pass on it. Merck, MRK, little choppy, kind of like it. There's a giant cup and handle. See that? There's the cup. There's the handle. Find support at the 200-day moving average. Find support at the 100-day moving average. There's your alert line. If it gets above the alert line, I'll probably day trade this. So nice, but we have better. PAGS. Don't know this stock. Has a few gaps in it, so it tells me it's probably less liquid. Prudential, Insure, downtrend, starting to move higher, above these major moving averages. Not bad, not a bad looking chart at all. That's nice. Roku is very nice. I'm writing that one down. This is more speculative than the rest. Gorgeous horizontal breakout here. You can see how the stock powers higher. Now it's consolidating the gains. They're trying to see if there's some profit taking. Can't drive it down to that breakout. It's finding support up here. Now it's boom, 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 boom. Grinding higher during a week when the market has been down. You can see the relative strength here. If I want to overlay the S&P 500, I can. That gray line is the market. So market down, 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 stock compressing. That is fantastic relative strength. You get the first day when the market is up a little bit. Boom! See ya! Roku looks really good. I like it. Let's see what else we've got. Gosh, I told you I was going to look for one stock. Already got 4 of them. Too tight. Don't see anything there. Snap, not bad. I would draw the downtrend line through this bar right here. That was after earnings. So let's say that that's an aberration. I would connect that line all the way down with these tops right here. And you can see the stock is trying to get through this down trend line. It has a nice move higher previously. So you can see that I had alerts set up here because I wanted to buy the stock if it got back to this level. Never did. So who knows, maybe it will, but I could make a case for being long Snapchat. I like it here. I think the stock challenges at very least this 1240 level. Not going to make the list today though. Under Armour trying to get through this resistance level, but look, choppy, 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 choppy. We don't want that. We want nice and steady price action. Yum, general trend higher, stock pulls back, finds support, starting to get up through horizontal resistance, not a lot of momentum, so no, we're not going to pick this one. Let me move this off of the screen, and then let's go and take a look at the stocks we highlighted. Let's drill down. This is really nice. AXP is through resistance, had this really nice candle today, very good relative strength. I'm going to look at MasterCard, see if it's any better. Pretty similar. Really nice tight price action here. So, boy, I'm going to say that you can really trade either of those two stocks. BK, I'm sorry, BX. I was looking at this chart going, that certainly doesn't look very bullish to me. BX, that makes a big difference. That looks great. That's going to make the list for sure. And then Roku. Love it. Okay, we need to have the SPY stay above 285, and we'd like to see these stocks hold these breakout levels. Okay, so that's the game plan. If the breakout level fails, then we need to exit. If SPY 285 fails, we need to exit. So all of those things have to come into play. And the stop on this, I would draw a nice little uptrend line here, which puts us right around the, let's call it the $86 level. We don't want to go too close on Roku because it really moves. That stock puts in a big range, and you can see here on any given day, this is probably about a $3 plus range. So you got to give yourself room on Roku. We're swing trading it, so I would draw an upward sloping trend line, and I would only stop out if the stock closes. That means in the last 5 minutes of trading, if the stock closes below that uptrend line, then I would stop out. But you can let it trade through it during the day. You almost have to because the stock is so volatile. And on AXP, we want to see that stock continue to push higher tomorrow, then we can buy it if the market is up on the open. MasterCard, same thing, except we want to see it through this high right here, and then we know we can join that party. So MasterCard gets above there, we got a nice strong market, we can buy that. BX is already through, so there I would be looking for a little pullback, maybe to this 41.25 level, halfway up this green bar. And if we get a little soft market action, maybe we get there. I hate buying into climaxes like that, but the fact that it closed on its high of the day on a big green bar is very bullish. You don't want to toy around with it too much. If the market's up and the stock is grinding higher and showing relative strength, take a position, and this is your stop right here. Right there. You can even move it up to those tails right there. So we're looking to buy it in here, pretty close to these tails. That means that our downside is very, very limited. So we're not looking to take a lot of risk, and we want to see that stock move higher and continue to push higher. So let's see if we can find a bearish pick. I'm going to use some of the same criteria, but I'm going to use a flip side. So we're going to go with bearish trade signal. We're going to go with bearish or negative relative strength. We're going to look for, I'm not going to go stock below prior day low because the market was up so much today. Let's just see what we get here. We get a lot of candidates, quite a few candidates. All right, so I'm going to put up bullish pressure. This is a little bit counterintuitive. This is a pressure indicator that I use, and imagine that a stock would be moving lower when there's upward pressure to it. It happens, and let me tell you that when you get all of these factors together and the stock starts to turn to where the pressure becomes even more bullish, and when the momentum starts to pick up to where these start to flip to buy signals, it's like throwing gasoline on the fire. We've got a pretty good list here. I think we can knock through these pretty quickly. So I'm just going to click through them. And if I see something good, I'll let you know the symbol. But I'm going to take this off to the side. I'm only looking for one. This is nice. It's below the major moving average, but it's been able to find support. That was the letter A. This was a short that we took a couple weeks ago, and that worked out pretty well. AGN. Nice downward sloping trend line. Actually can drop back there. This is all good, but I don't see anything that really interests me there. We need some momentum. Right now, the market has no momentum. It's not going to help us. So the stock dang well better have some momentum because it's going to have to do it on its own. There's no momentum here. That has momentum. And we're below a major moving average. And you can see an inverted hammer here that stays below the 200-day moving average and a gap on a day when the market was up. So BABA will make the short list. Baidu absolutely buried, and it's staying down. Both Chinese stocks, you can see the huge relative weakness here. Yes, Baidu would probably be a good candidate for us to short as well. That's a huge move down, though. I don't know if I'd want to be shorting it here. It's got some filling to do in here, but that is very negative. CLF, you can see how it's got a downward sloping trend line. You can see how it's been staying below the major moving averages. I wouldn't want to short it, though, until it can break this horizontal support level, and it's close to that level. So no go on that one. eBay, nothing too exciting there. FXI is a Chinese ETF. GLD, choppy, major moving average here, downside limited, no thank you. GLW, not bad, finding some support in here though. Filled in that gap very nicely. Not too interested in that. Really nice downward sloping trend line below the major moving averages. This looks pretty good too, but very choppy. Look at how gappy. So this is an ADR, so liquidity is a little bit of an issue there. You can see this was a compression area. LVS rallied above that level, and then it stalled out. There's the earnings, and now you can see how it's been in a steady decline. Gotta like the fact that it was down today when the market was up. It's below the major moving averages. Yep, that makes the list. You can see the relative weakness here, and you can see the volume picking up. MMM, super weak. I just can't short something that's that far down. That train has left the station. Major support here. Not too excited about that. Microsoft, no, Microsoft doesn't look too bearish. It would have to get below this support level, and it's been strong relative to the market, so we don't want to short that one either. MYL, big drop, continuing to drift lower. I want something that has yet to drop. Netflix has been compressing like mad in this area, so I don't see it really dropping much. If it got below this 200-day moving average, I would be interested, but that's not going to happen this week. I'm just doing that for my own benefit in future weeks. PDD, nah. Starbucks has actually been fairly strong. Nothing there. SMH, between these major moving averages, pretty good amount of selling in here. We have better in Alibaba and LVS. So this is a nice gap here, continues to sell off, relative weakness. Pretty big bounce here today. And this needs to get down to those major moving averages. I'm going to show you a technical pattern I like. I love it when a stock makes a new low like this. I'd like to see it close that bar in the very upper portion of it, and then I'd like to see a green bar like that, because this is a morning star formation and it's very bullish for at least a short-term bounce. So not interested in that stock right here, but that's not a bad formation to look at. Follow TME and see what it does. I think you'll see it bounce a little bit, but you have to be in and out of a stock like this. It has a lot of weakness, so this is not a stock that you want to buy and hold and stay in for any amount of time. You're just playing a very short-term bounce. So we've got our candidates. let's go in and let's create a list. And I'm going to go in, I'm going to click create. We're going to call this list May 21, and then we're going to type in our symbols. So we had AXP, we had MA, we had BX, we had Roku, we had LVS, and we had Alibaba. That was our list. We're going to click Save and Close. And now when I go into my lists, I'll be able to see it right in here. So you'll see it labeled right there. Click on it. It'll always be there for you. So whatever lists you want to create, you can do that. I'm going to go in and clean some of these out of here. I just click on it. For instance, if I wanted to get rid of the May 8th list, click on it, hit the garbage can, gone. So let's go back and take a very quick recap of our picks this week. We need to have the SPY above 285. If it's above 285, that black line, we want to focus on bullish trades. So that would put us into AXP, BX, MA, Roku. We want to see those breakouts hold, and we want to see the stock move higher as the market's moving higher. If we get some trade related news and everything falls apart again and the SPY is below 285, we're going to be looking to LVS for a short, and we're going to be looking at Alibaba for a short. And on these, we want to make sure that that major moving average is intact, that the stock stays below it. So that would be our stop out point if we do short it. So we'll take a quick look at AXP. Want this breakout to hold, want the market to move higher. BX looks beautiful. Try and buy it in the middle of this bar around 41.25 if you can. Be a bidder. Bid, 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 bid. Once you're in, we want to see this breakout level hold. It's probably around the 40.75 level right here. That's the game plan. MA, we'd like to see that stock break out above this horizontal resistance, make a new high, SPY above 285. Then we want it to hold that level. Now we could draw this opening here and use that, or we could use this right here, this close of 255.38 as our stop on a closing basis as well. Roku, volatile stock. You can see how it puts in a big daily range. We don't need to go in and jump on it out of the gate first thing tomorrow. But what we can do is we'll probably have a pretty good chance of being able to buy it in the middle of this green bar somewhere. So that's how I would approach it. And I would keep a stop on a closing basis. Let it move around during the day. It needs some room. But I would have that stop somewhere around the, call it, close below $83. I would say that you probably can get out of the trade. It looks good. It wants to move higher. It's just a question of what the market will do. All of these stocks have a tailwind. They have momentum. They'll be able to do this on their own. They just won't be able to do it if they're getting a big adverse market move. So the bullish stocks in a neutral market will do fine. The bearish stocks in a neutral market will do fine. Just need to make sure that nothing dramatic happens over the course of the next few days. This is relative strength and weakness. This is what we trade. You can see week after week after week after week. I post these videos. I review everything that we've gone through. I show you how we do it, and I show you that it makes money consistently. I hope that you decide to use this edge for yourself, and I hope you sign up for Option Stalker. I will look forward to seeing you next week, and we're going to review these picks, and I'm going to show you how much money you could have made on them. Thank you.